Good evening. Let me actually sit up a little bit here. Uh, ah, Alrighty. Now, that's somebody that's ready. You got to break a neck or two. Make sure that you're ready. All right. How is everybody doing this evening? This fantastic day, evening, time. Let's see what happens here, guys. Throw. We did Zephaniah this morning, which was epic and great. Um, I mean, excuse me. Excuse me. I could talk about all sorts of random topics, but I just want to look up. Let's do some random Bible. Just random Bible. 51 times the word moon occurs in the Bible. It's kind of fascinating. Um, so, so let's take a cup. Let's take a look at that. It is Monday, so let's figure it out. Let's figure out what the deal is with the word moon in the Bible over and over again. My D live stream is acting up. Going to try to listen on YouTube, but I'll be chatless. What's the deal with that? I'm hearing D live having issues, but here, I'm going to mute this and then I'm going to see. Hmm. Hmm. I'm looking at it. Doesn't appear to be that bad off from what I can tell. And it appears to be about 20 to 30 seconds behind time. Um, 15 to 20 seconds, somewhere in that neighborhood. So I don't know. I don't know why D Live would be acting up for some people, but not others. But there you go. Alrighty. So let's crank through some random Bible verses, guys. We will crank through some random Bible verses. All right. It's on my end very far from my router. Well, here's the sense in that. YouTube has throttled the output of all their videos for the foreseeable future. So, by nature of them throttling the output and lowering the resolution of their streams that people can see, that's probably why it's running better. Because DLive might not be doing the same thing because they already have more than enough capacity and their DLive's servers are probably no more taxed than when, well, anyway, you get it. All right, drinking some chai. I had made some homemade chai and I just needed to finish it off. You don't want a good thing to go to waste, like a crisis, or so I've heard. Crisis or chai. I mean, what's the difference, really? All right, let's check this out. Let us check it out. All right, Genesis 37, verse 9. And he dreamed yet another dream, and told it his brethren, and said, Behold, I have dreamed a dream more, and behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. Let's look up a commentary on that, actually. Hmm. Study. Yeah, yeah. Actually, looks like Blue Letter Bible has just about everything all in one place. It's actually pretty nice. I want to see a commentary on Genesis 37:9. Oh no. Oh boy. The fact that Isaac Newton has. Oh, hi, Yafty. I'm live streaming, but welcome to the party. I am looking up random Bible verses that have the word moon and running down any rabbit trails I might find. So I put the link to my live stream in the chat, but welcome. You can hear me, right, Yafty? Oh, you're roboting super hard on my side. What's up? Is that better? Hmm. Hmm. All right, let's check out Genesis 37:9. What I want to find is commentary. All right, so let me share my screen so you guys can check it out. I'm going to scoot this aside like that, and then we'll do this. There we go. So what we have is Genesis 37, verse 9. Good evening, Fear. Feel free to join on the Discord. You know where it's at. Um, all right. So again, Blue Letter Bible for the win. All you have to do is click this tab right here. Usually I'm using the interlinear, but all you have to do is click commentaries and boom, 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 headshot right there. So let's find Genesis 37. Yeah, I don't want audio, video. I want text. Yeah, I don't want any of that. I want text commentaries. Here we go. So let's check this one out. We're just going to go clickety click, open up plenty of tabs. We got plenty of RAM. Got a lot of RAM in this computer, guys. I've got a lot of RAM. I've got so much RAM in my computer, it's biblical. That was a terrible joke. Let's try and find this 37 verse 9 so I can redeem this nonsense. All right, very sharp contention there. All right, Jacob tucked it away, back of his mind, probably wondering, I don't like that kind of commentary. I'm already not a fan. I need a more academic commentary, in my opinion. This is looking good. I love outlines. All right, here we go. Because what I'm curious about is not about the moon, actually. I'm wondering what the 11 stars are, and I have a speculation. And I want to see if somebody else might be thinking what I'm thinking. Not that I'm not that that would end it for me. That wouldn't make me right. It just I'm just curious. I want to see what the 11 stars are because I have a speculation. All right, here we go. Then he dreamed still another dream. Bow down, the earth before you, the sun and the moon. Here we go. The idea of the stars, moon, and sun representing the family of Israel is repeated in Revelation 12:1. The passage speaks. Oh, well, thank you, Scouse Bear. Welcome and hello. Hope life is good for you, over there. Over there, over there. Send the troops over there. Sorry. You are in England, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. What's on the agenda tonight, Fear? Well, the moon. I just plugged it in, Blue Letter Bible, um, and we're just gonna go down some rabbit trails or holes or both, rabbit trails and rabbit holes. We may stay above the ground, we may go under the ground. Um, Thank you. That's a spicy chai. I make my own. I make my own chai. Hi, North Star. I am just cranking through some random Bible. Uh, so I just did a word search for the word moon just for kicks and giggles because it's Monday or Moon Day, and I came across Genesis 37:9. It's where it's talking about
11,
what's that?
verse 11.
Uh, Genesis 37 verse 9, where it talks about the
Yeah,
moon, the sun, the moon, and the 11 stars.
yeah,
And
I
I
brought that up before about how it relates to chapter 12 of Revelation. Jacob
exactly.
interpreted, he
Uh,
interpreted that dream. Yeah, the moon was his wife,
the moon was what?
was Jacob's wife, represented in the dream.
Yes,
Joseph,
yes.
Joseph had a dream. Yeah,
Oh, yes. And that relates to the woman in the constellation. I
yeah.
see.
The 12 tribes. She has a crown of
Yes.
12 stars. That's the 12 tribes. That's the nation of Israel.
So, what?
The woman is Israel. Because
Yeah,
Christ came through that seed. He's the seed that came through that lineage, through that line of Israel.
yeah. That passage speaks of Jesus coming from the nation of Israel. Yeah, I was reading through a commentary. Um, have you ever used blueletterbible.org?
Once or twice years ago.
Gotcha. It's in my opinion, extremely helpful. Mostly because it's like everything at your fingertip kind of resource. The interlinear where it gives you the original language stuff, but then it also has commentaries at your fingertips and um, multiple versions of multiple translations and stuff like that. So um, yeah, it's fascinating. All right, Revelation 12. Okay, wait a second. Yep. All right, I'm gonna crank back to the original word search. So Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 19. Unless thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the host of heaven, shouldest be driven to worship them and serve them, which the Lord thy God hath divided unto all nations under the whole heaven. This one's going to need some context. So I did a Bible study this morning real early and was breaking down the nature of hermeneutics in Bible study and the 8 rules of biblical interpretation. And I'm not going to reread all of the long paragraphs that go with each one of those words, but the 8 rules of hermeneutics, properly studying the Bible, is definition, like definition of words, the rule of usage, the rule of context, the rule of historical background, the rule of logic, the rule of precedent, the rule of unity, and the rule of inference. And then it also gives an honorable mention to discernment, which I don't think anybody would argue with either. But anyway, um, so I'm trying to stay on that theme as much as I possibly can, um, as people are diving into especially apocalyptic literature these days. Um, I'm hoping, in as much as possible, I can encourage people to consider scripture in context and not take maybe a handful of scriptures and just run with them with the idea that you might have, not you, but in general.
Right.
So, um, all right. So in Deuteronomy chapter 4, hmm, so this is going back, and the Lord commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and judgments that you might do them in the land whether you go to possess it. All right. For ye saw likewise, and lest. Ah, yeah, interesting. And when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the hosts of heaven, the host of heaven. I was just wondering for half a second if when it said 11 stars, the 11 stars. I mean, I know it was talking about the 12 tribes, but I also was wondering what the chances were that that was related to um, planets. But what you would say or suggest is that the 11 stars are related to that specific constellation. Is that right? I think you counted them before you were talking about it the other day. North Star. All of a sudden, I can't hear you. Odd things, guys. Sometimes the sound just doesn't work. But yeah, I see your lit up North Star, but I cannot hear you for some reason. Um, I could hear you before, but now I can't. All right. Been to Mass on Palm Sunday with family and friends in our house. Took communion with the priest Father King, not stopping us. Took communion with priest Father King. Scouse Bear, I'm a little confused on what that means. Um, I'm not sure what that means. Priest Father King. It's like three nouns put together, so I'm not quite sure what that means. But anyway, Liverpool will not bow down to nonsense. It's a city of yeehaw, hurry. And just every time I see asterisks in my chat, I'm not offended whatsoever. Say whatever you want. Like I said, I just randomly put some sensory in there. That's not a good word. It's not a word, but you get what I'm saying. Um, yeah, I think I'll just replace it with yeehaw every time. It'll just be fun. But yeah, I think that constellation specifically, the lady that it talks about in Revelation 12 has either 11 or 12 stars in that constellation. Pretty sure. Alrighty, we will go back to the moon search because Deuteronomy kind of. Let's wait for a real good rabbit trail here. Deuteronomy 17:3, and hath gone and served other gods and worshipped them, either the sun or moon or any of the host of heaven, which I have not commanded. See, the clarification here in Deuteronomy is happening that people are worshiping the sun, worshiping the moon, and stars, and obviously that's that's not what God wants. Obviously, because you shall worship the Lord your God alone, only, the one and only. So, worshiping the moon is a no-no, to put it lightly. It means I went to mass and no one stopped me. I took communion. That's okay. Gotcha. It's cool. I just didn't know what priest Father King meant. I mean, it's cool. It's fine. It's good that no one stopped you. I would probably take. I used to go to an Anglican church, and um they did this. So they had a one glass, one chalice, 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 goblet. They had one glass of wine, and you would do this like that, right? Of course, it was more full. It was more full, so it was easier, and it like tilted. It was pretty easy to get a sip, right? So they did that, and then they took the napkin, or it was like a cloth, and they would take it, and they would wipe, and then turn it, and they would wipe and turn, and wipe and turn, and wipe and turn. The wipe and turn method. Some people do the turpentine method. Some people do the wipe and turn method. Um, so I have been to a church that did the wipe and turn method, and I'm alive. I survived. I made it through. But good evening, Jeremy. Welcome. Let's see here. Let's see here. We are just looking up, just for anybody new to the chat or the stream tonight. We're just looking up random verses with the word moon, seeing if it leads us anywhere. Excusez-moi. Mi scusi. That's Italian, just in case I ever wind up in Italy. I know how to say possibly one of the most important things. Mi scusi, mi scusi. That's all I will say. I'll just say that over and over again. What would you like to eat, sir? Mi scusi. Yes. What would I speak English? What would you like to eat? I could tell you were an American. Mi scusi? You obviously don't know how to speak Italian. I'm speaking English to you, sir. What would you like to eat? Mi scusi. Okay, well, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. This is the kind of interaction I expect to happen if I ever go to Italy. Um, Nerd theology texting is the best kind of texting. Oh my gosh, I just got it. So instead of the sorted um what's the word besides sorted? What's another good adjective? Um Whatever, it doesn't matter. So instead of the letter S and then Xting, okay? So instead of that, sexting, sexting. Yeah, theology texting. Yeah, I just made that up. I just made that up just like that. Boom, right on the spot, because I know how to make stuff up sometimes. All right. And for the precious fruits brought forth by the sun, sun, and for the precious things put forth by the moon. Okay, that's fascinating. What does that mean? What does the moon put forth? We're going to need to hit up a commentary on Deuteronomy chapter 33 because I have no idea. Let's see what this guy has to say. Robert Jameson, on the majesty of God. What verse was that? Deuteronomy 33:14. Let's check it out. Deuteronomy 33:14. All right. Of Joseph, he said, the territory of this tribe, diversified by hill and dell, wood and water, would be rich in all the productions, olives, grapes, figs, which are reared in a mountainous region, as well as the grain and the herbs grown in the level fields. Level, flat, straight, and level. Maybe, maybe. The firstling of the bullock and the horns of the unicorn. I like how the commentary. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. It's not that funny. The firstling of the bullock and the horns of the unicorn, aka rhinoceros, rhinoceros, one horn. Oh, ooh, basically indicate glory and strength. Bullock, glory and strength, rhinoceros. Okay, and it is supposed it is supposed that under these emblems were shadowed forth the triumphs of Joshua and the new kingdom of Jeroboam, whom of I'm sorry, both of whom were of Ephraim, but you didn't address what what I mean. It's weird. I should have hit back. I should have hit back. It's okay. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it after all. All right, here we go. Matthew Henry. Now that man, sometimes he gets it, sometimes he gets it. Matthew Henry actually is a very, very thorough commentary. So let's see what he has to say, because I'm really curious as to what this means. Precious fruits brought forth by the sun, and for the precious things put forth by the moon. I want to know what that is. Let's dig in. I want to know what the context of historical context. What was the precious things that put forth by the moon? Let's see. Let's see. 33:14 is where we're trying to get to. Matthew Henry's really thorough. So let's figure this out. Let's see here. Um, precious things of heaven. Precious, the pure water for the plentiful springs, heavenly bodies, precious fruits, fruitfulness for the precious things of earth. Hey now, hey now, you better not avoid. Okay. Cooling moisture of the moon. Whoa, Matthew. Whoa. Matthew Henry, that is. Whoa. Okay. So for the benign influences of the heavenly bodies, verse 14, for the precious fruits, the word signifies that which is most excellent and the best in its kind, put forth by the quickening heat of the sun, which we're very familiar with. But this is the interesting part, and the cooling moisture of the moon. Guys, it was it was news to me this very year, actually, a little bit towards the end of last year. It was news to me that obviously I knew that the sun produced heat, but it was new information to me that the moon emitted a light that actually reduces temperature. And if you're not already familiar with this, here you go. In the shade, so if you have a board, you set a board like OSB, right? Just a board of wood, and you take temperature on this side of the board, and you take temperature on this side of the board, moonlight coming from this direction, and in the shade of the moon, moonlight hitting here, no moonlight hitting here on the other side of the board, be anywhere from 3 to 12 degrees Fahrenheit difference in temperature. Even a 3-degree temperature difference is pretty significant, guys. But I've seen this experiment set up many times in videos. I haven't done it myself, but I may as well. I just don't have a. What's really helpful is to have a IR radar gun, whatever. Um, all right, here we go. Chuck, yeah. I'm now assuming I'll never get to visit Italy. Sigh. Eh, sounds like texting with a lisp. Yes, it does. Sexting. That's true. Unicorn. Yeah, unicorn. Yeah, it's in the Bible. But it's rhinoceros, you know. Same word, different language. It's fine. When I was young, we used to plant by the phases of the moon. That's what the Farmer's Almanac talks about. Pretty certain. Um, and on YouTube. Well, it censored my comment on D Live. No, it was me. I didn't see your comment unless it, yeah. But yeah, I have a list of words, and if a certain word that I have on the list is even inside of another word, it will it'll put asterisks. It's just messed up. Hey, cold as ice bear, welcome. Um, just chilling, keeping it cool, making ice. That sounds excellent. We did this experiment. It's for real. It's for real and very weird. But yeah, I'm just interested that Matthew Henry in his commentary mentions cooling moisture of the moon. I just find that fascinating. Uh, all right, Jeremy. Good night. Old man. I'm just kidding. I actually was imitating um, Key and Peele and Rufio from the movie Hook, both at the same time, and it didn't come out right. Uh, my brain got mixed up in my references of the words "old man" because I'm pretty sure I know it happens in the Key and Peele sketch I was thinking of, but I don't know if Rufio says "old man" specifically. It would make sense that he did, but I don't know for sure. Anyway, we shall move on. Good night, though. Have a great night's sleep. It's an hour later there, so I would be going to bed at 10 too. That's probably the plan. No more than an hour of goofy moon searching. Yes, I am being followed by a moon shadow. Moon shadow, moon shadow. Um, I hate it, guys. I like Cat Stevens' music. I grew up with it. That guy always looked like a certain group of people, even when he didn't change his name to Yusuf. Yusuf. Anyway, let them. Cat Stevens. I mean, it was pretty obvious if you were looking at him. Um, now, if I ever. Anyway. Oh, he knew how to make music. He did know how to make music. That is not debatable. Let them have the yearly fruits in their several months, according to the course of nature. In 1 month, olives, in another dates, etc. So some understand it. Not enough. Just not enough. I wish there was more. I wish there was more. Matthew Henry, you could have done better. All right. David McGee or J. Vernon McGee. We'll do that one. And then, yeah, I don't think we're going to pick Alicia Blackwood commentary. I've known a Blackwood before. Charles Inglis. Yeah, no. John MacArthur. Well, gotta click on that one. I mean, and what about this guy, Don Stewart? Not to be confused with John Stewart. All right, 3314. Where are you at? Where are you at? 33. All right, here we go. Um, oh, that's it? Yeah, okay. What, where's this? Oh, the precious produce of the months. Oh, they didn't want to say the moon in this version. They did not even use the word moon. Yep, interesting. With the precious produce. So the moon in some people's minds in translation, they wanted the moon to not mean the moon as much as it meant the calendar. It's fascinating. That's why reading different translations, reading different commentaries can be beneficial because it can help give you a little bit more thorough understanding of what it may be talking about. So, anyway, this is just building a muscle, guys. Just building a muscle for hermeneutics. That's all we're doing. Building a hermeneutics muscle. I haven't. Every time I see Jehovah, I get a little twinge of awkwardness in my gut. How is this? How is this at all a good commentary? So disorganized. Oh, it's a commentary on the entire book of Deuteronomy in a couple of what? 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 It like skipped chapter 33. What good are you? Boo. Boo. Whose is this? So I can avoid it in the future. Oh, J. Vernon McGee. I mean, it's like, how dare you? You never wrote a commentary. How dare you criticize? Do you have any idea? I can imagine. I mean, I had to write, what did I do? I had to write 2 sentences for every chapter in the Bible. That was what the college that I went to, that was the freshman year thing that everyone had to do at the college that I went to. We had to write 2 complete sentences for every chapter in the Bible. And that was a good task. It was a really good initiation into the college and into, of course, the Bible. All right, let's see here. Chapters 33, 1 through 29. Okay, so we got that, but where's the. Hold on. Okay, so he doesn't really address. He's a big picture kind of guy, John MacArthur. Wait, was Moses dead? The rest of it. Blah blah blah. John MacArthur. You really exceed people's abilities. So smart and stuff. I'm just kidding, guys. I do like John MacArthur's stuff pretty good. This is just interesting, and I guess that one commentary on Matthew Henry's commentary, which again is probably the only one that we're going to find any on these weird verses that I'm looking up. But yeah, the precious things put forth by the moon, the cool and wet. Interesting. It just is so fascinating if you think about it, guys. So weird. All right, then spake Joshua. This is Joshua 10:12 to the Lord in the day when the Lord delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Ajalon. Let's look these places up. Why not? This is cool. Gibeon and Ajalon. Let's find out where they are. Commentaries are useless. Ooh, no. Let's see. Spiritual. I've done it with my laser thermometer. Very cool. Cold as ice. Um, IFR infrared. I'm guessing. 9 is my bedtime. Don't make it much later than that. Gotcha. The moon rotated clockwise. Rotates. The moon rotates clockwise. Maybe. I I don't know though. I mean, it's possible it never rotates at all. it just shines the same face towards Earth all the time, it wouldn't necessarily have to rotate. Not even relative to anything else. Um, I don't know. What can I hold up? What can I hold up? My phone. I mean, it's like my phone. It just if it's just going in a circle like this or whatever, then it's always showing the same face. I don't know. Rotates as far as the phases, I think he means. Um, yeah, I think that's probably right. So the light side of it rotates away from you. Yeah, I don't know. The angle always seems to be a little bit different. Sometimes the angle can be like pointing upwards, and sometimes the angle can be pointing downwards. I've lived in different places, so the way that the moon looks in different places that I've lived has been a little bit different, it seems. But I haven't paid that much attention to really know whether or not that is based on where are Gibeon and Ajalon? All right, let's find out where Gibeon, because Joshua made the sun stop in Gibeon and the moon stop in Ajalon, and I'm just curious how far away those are from each other. I'm guessing pretty close. I mean, pretty close, right? Gibeon and Ajalon. Let's see. Gibeon and Ajalon. Battle of Gibeon. Oh, Ayalon. Oh yeah, that makes sense that it would be not a J because um Ayalon Bible Atlas. Oh, that's sweet. Let's check this out. So here's Ayalon, and where's Gibeon? Oh wow. So he said, okay, wait. Let's look at the Bible verse again. This is great. All right, we've got sun stand thou still upon Gibeon and in the valley of Ayalon. So we've got the valley of Ayalon right here, and we've got Gibeon right here. What I don't have is scale or distance. So what I need to do is this. Let's look up how, um, oh, it's this distance. This is the website. All right, so we need to look up Gibeon, Gibeon to Ayalon. Did I just misspell it? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's not it. That wasn't it in the slightest. Kind of crazy nonsense. All right, how do we find Gibeon? Um, oh, it's not helpful. All right, Gibeon, modern day. I'm just curious. Maybe somebody already has an answer for this. Nope. Hi, Fighting Bear. Welcome. All right, we are looking for Gibeon, the ancient city of Gibeon, which is, I mean, watch it be like super close. I mean, it could have been like, okay, this is not helpful. Uh, Show map. No, I want to see where Gibeon is. All right, Gibeon, blah blah blah, was a Canaanite Israelite, blah blah blah. Inhabited Gibeon, Gibeonites were Hivites. Remains of Gibeon are located on the southern edge of the Palestinian village of Al Jib. Okay, so we're gonna throw Al Jib in here. Al Jib. and then Palestine. Yeah, so allegedly Palestine. And then we're going to look up modern day Ajalon. We'll be close. We'll be close. Lowland of Shephelah in the West Bank. Um, Oldest solar eclipse ever recorded tells us when Ramses. Yeah. Um, a Palestinian Arab village 8 miles southeast of Ramla. I want to know what it is. Lowland of the Shephelah. Lowlands. Okay. Ayalon Valley. Um, what, is there not a city? Like, as seen from Gezer, identified in the 1800s as Yallo. Okay. The foot of Bethoran Pass, Palestinian Arab village located 13 kilometers. Yallo was a Palestinian Arab village. Okay. So we'll do with yellow. And they were all yellow. It's interesting because Ayalon, yellow. It's if you know anything about root words. Oh, come on. Palestine. Look at it's all in Arabic as if I'm. Oh, never mind. Um, Palestine. Oh, come on. Oh, you're killing me. I just need a scale. Oh, this is just annoying. All right. All right. Let's do this. Um, Algebe, Elgebe, Gabon, Gabayan. Um, does anybody know where did that one thing go? Bible maps. All right, because that wasn't helpful. Can I get some like a scale of this? Hold on, maybe this will help. Where's the? How do you? Oh, there's the scale. Okay, good, good, good. I was about to lose my mind. It's like how do you make a thing? All right, so what we will do is I'll use this little tool. Watch this, and then all right. So I'm going to take that and then, all right, and make, all right, there we go. This is really ghetto, guys. This is really ghetto, but I wanted, all right, so about that, that's about the zero. They're almost in line with each other. Um, so the moon was in Ayalon and the sun was in Gibeon, and that is, I mean, what, 9 miles? Less than 10 miles. 10 miles from really for all intents and purposes. I mean, 10 miles, the moon would almost be on the horizon. Like, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. But now we know that Gibeon and Ayalon were about 10 miles apart. So that's good. Good to know. Um, I wasted all my time looking at all that other nonsense. But I figured out that Gibeon and Ayalon are 10 miles apart, guys. You're welcome. I know that was important to you. Yeah, it's down there still. And then the next verse, obviously, and the sun stood still and the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is that not this written in the book of Jasher? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven and hasted not to go down about a whole day. Let's see if the good old commentator did well and actually does any reference. Let's see if they actually do any reference to the book of Jasher in the commentary, because that would be the right and honorable thing to do, in my opinion. If you're going to write a commentary on something that refers to a book that's not in the canon, I mean, it would be the right and honorable thing to say what Jasher said so that you're not just, goofing around. Here, we're going to say, really, really, I'm disappointed. Disappointed, MacArthur. I am disappointed in you. You have let me down. All right, let's see what this one says. Jash. See, look at that. See? Matthew Henry has done it again. Good grief. That's because Matthew Henry does everything. Matthew Henry literally writes everything. I mean, wow. All right, this is said to be written in the Book of Jasher, a collection of state poems, interesting state poems, in which the poem made upon this occasion was preserved among the rest. Probably the same with that book of the Wars of the Lord, referred to in Numbers 21:14. Uh, I know a lot of extra books, but that's not one that I actually remembered right off the top of my head. The book of the Wars of the Lord. Let me get a copy of that real quick. I'm just kidding. I don't think that there are. The book of the Wars of the Lord. Excuse me. What is the book of the Wars of the Lord? But is now lost to us. Lost books are not uncommon. How about that, guys? These are the names of the sons who went to Egypt with Jacob. Thus, the title of an ancient book might tell very little about the content of the book. Yeah, I don't know. It's fascinating, though. I thought it might be one of the lost books. Huh. Book of the Words of Yahweh. Therefore, all right. Back to this, which afterwards was continued and carried on by one Jasher. All right, let me check up. Don't you ever say an unkind word about. It's my thanks for following, Dance. Nisbet Ben. Um, that's an interesting screen name. Welcome. In is bet. In is In is bet. I don't know, but cool. What's up? Welcome. Bet you lost that book. Bet you that lost book is in the basement of the Vatican with the, with the giant bones. It's possible, if not likely. If not likely. All right, here we go. Those words, sun stand still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Ayalon, sounding metrical. Sounding metrical, possibly because they were 10 miles apart. Oh, hi, Lismore. Welcome.
Hey,
I figured I'd share with you that I am live streaming, but you are welcome to hang out. I am. I'm reading random verses from the Bible that include the word moon, just for kicks and giggles, because it's Monday, Moonday, and
hey.
I happened upon a verse. I, I'm guessing you've only been here for a minute or so, yeah.
Well, I literally just joined.
Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, there's a book in the Bible called Joshua. And Joshua, you might have heard this story because it's a pretty cool story. Um, so in the book of Joshua, he's a guy that he says then spake Joshua to the Lord God, in the day when the Lord delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel, and he said in the sight of Israel, Sun, S-U-N, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Ayalon. Let me post a link in the chat for you. But I just
Oh,
looked
I'm new to
new to what?
using the phone. I'm on the
Oh,
I'm
it's
on the
all good.
stream
I can
phone.
describe it. I
Yeah.
post a link if you want, but maybe for later. But I could just describe it. Those two cities are 10 miles apart. What is it? Gibeon and Ayalon. They're 10 miles apart. Um, and one city he told, or technically, technically, I think he did tell. Well, he just spoke. He spoke to God. And anyway, so the sun stopped above Gibeon, and the moon stopped above Ayalon, and those cities are only 10 miles apart. And the next verse goes on to say, and the sun stood still, and the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher, which is a book that's not in the normal Bible? It's referred to as not in the canon, or anyway.
Right.
Um, anyway, so the sun stood still in the midst of heaven and hasted not to go down about a whole day, which means twice as long as it should have been there, basically. Um, so anyway, that's one of those supernatural events in history that you know is almost
Well, and
unexplainable.
yeah.
Except,
But like when time stands still.
say what?
And these things when time stands still.
Yeah. So here's the interesting thing about that too, though, is that event makes tremendously more sense with the flat Earth and far less sense on a sphere, a ball Earth, because he told the sun and he told the moon. He didn't tell the Earth. So
Well, I mean,
anyway,
you could view that in many different ways. You could, maybe he made the Earth speed up. Who knows? It when you're dealing with an all powerful, there is nothing to question.
yeah, I'm not talking about what is. I'm not talking about what is not possible. I'm not saying that it would be impossible one way or another. However,
Mm.
if the sun stopped moving and the moon stopped moving, but basically there's a missing component there in the heliocentric model. Um, the Unless it was meant to be inferred, which is actually a little bit of a stretch. Because if there was an inference, why wouldn't it have just said, and and he asked God to stop the day? or to make time stand still with the sun. Why did it specifically have to say the sun and the moon, but also not the earth? Um,
Right.
it,
And it was the wording was specific that it did stand still. It wasn't as if it stood still.
correct. Those
Mm,
were, so I'm reading from the commentary, which I can switch, so because you probably don't care about the.
no.
Give me just a second.
My
Uh,
mic's using the phone.
you're coming through okay.
All right, cool.
Um, what in the world? Close stream. All right, let me try this again. There we go. Go live.
Yeah, and I'm in this voice the biblical teaching.
Yeah, yeah. So am I. Obviously, that's and anyway, I'm sharing my screen if you want to look at the commentary that I'm reading, but I'm going to read it out loud too. It's just a commentary on this specific verse because I wanted a little bit more clarification on the book of Jasher, possibly if it gives any. But anyway, it says those words: "Sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Ayalon," sounding metrical, are supposed to be taken from the narrative of this event as it was found in the book of Jasher. Not that the divine testimony of the book of Joshua needed confirmation from the book of Jasher, a human composition, but to those who had that book in their hands, it would be of use to compare this history with it. So basically, they're just clarifying that the book of Jasher was a nice book of history and poems, and kind of like a reference book for anyway.
Right.
But to
Yeah,
those who had the book in their hands would be commission,
a
which
little bit like Aesop's fables, there.
probably along those lines, sure, which warrants the appeals the learned make to profane history for corroborating the proofs of the truth of sacred history. Um, so, but yes, it was very. Let me just look at the word in the original language specifically for "stay still." Stand thou still. So let me click here. Joshua.
So like when it says stand still, does that do you interpret that to have patience?
So what I do is I do my best to look at all possible ways of breaking down. So I look for context, I look for definition of words, I look for commentaries. I just break it down as many different ways as I can to get a clear understanding. So I look at this word demam, which is the verb that was chosen for the moon. Hold on, stand thou still, and he said, hold on, let's see, I'm just making sure. He said, in the sight of Israel, sun, stand thou still on Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley. So the verb was collective for both the sun and the moon, and the word is damam in Hebrew. Um, to be silent, be still, to wait, to be dumb, to grow dumb, to be silent, to be still, to die, to be struck dumb, to be silenced, to be made silent, to be destroyed, to make quiet, to make silent. Um,
To be static, just
that
wait.
I would accept that as a potential synonym. Silent and still are the two primary words, but it can also be related to, you know what to be dumb is. It means not able to speak. Um,
Yeah.
so obviously, it can also be that word can be used for humans and not just. Um,
Uh, well, we could also use the word mute.
yeah, yeah. Sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and the sun stood still. So the following verse in verse 13 does specifically clarify um, that it actually did stand still. Um, this root is onomatopoeic, uh, and one of which is widely spread in other families of languages, and equally um, mu, muo. So the word that we have for mute comes from a Greek root, um, and it has a certain level of, like, probably even the word mumble would come from this root word. Um,
Maybe. I like that you brought up
yeah, Latin mutus,
Zoom.
mute. What were you saying?
I like that you brought up Pia.
Well,
Bang,
I'm reading.
pow.
I'm just reading from the lexicon for this word. I didn't make that up. You know, I know stuff
Well,
sometimes, but I
yeah,
was just,
well, so do I. You know,
yeah.
Pia. X, bang, pow, zoom.
What's that?
Onomatopoeia,
Yeah, yeah,
bang, pow, zoom.
yes. Those are good Batman examples.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, it's a fascinating event. Um, it definitely deserves a little bit of thought because it was a once in a lifetime kind of event. If I'm not mistaken, somewhere else it says nothing like that ever happened again. I can't remember what verse that is, but I'm pretty sure that it clarified that nothing like that would ever happen again, that it was like a once ever kind of event. Um, anyway, it's a little interesting.
Yeah,
So,
when time stood still.
yeah, let's see.
You know,
Okay, so
when
actually,
there's
somebody gave me a reference on where it is in Jasher, so thank you for that reference. I will look that up because I don't read the book of Jasher, but other people, some of my friends, just happen to know way more stuff.
yeah,
Um,
well, there's many levels. Study.
that's true.
I'm at like the bottom. So I'm looking up to you and this guy, whoever referenced you to someone else,
People have
must
different
study it more.
expertise and interests too. It's not necessarily about levels. Sometimes it's more quadrants of interest. Um,
Yeah, this is true.
so in the book of Jasher, the exact quote is, "And when they were smiting, the day was declining toward evening. And Joshua said in the sight of all the people, Sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Ayalon, until the nation shall have revenged itself upon its enemies. And the Lord hearkened to the voice of Joshua, and the sun stood still in the midst of the heavens, and it stood still 36 moments. And the moon also stood still and hastened not to go down a whole day. And there was no day like that before it or after it, that the Lord hearkened to the voice of a man. For the Lord fought for Israel." So that is not just it, that was, I was reading from the book of Jasher there, but that is also what the book of Joshua says. So um, that's Joshua chapter 10, verses 12 through 14. Um, very interesting because that's all that those last three verses of the book of Jasher, that's a direct word for word quote almost, except for the extra detail of 6 and 30 moments, which is a
Yeah. What is a moment?
well, I'd have to look at the original text of Jasher because um, you would expect that to just mean 6.5 hours, But if that's the case, why did they translate it as moments? Um,
So maybe it might be heartbeat, breath.
no. Let me see if I can find some Hebrew for Jasher. Hebrew. Or actually, Jasher's probably written in Aramaic. Well, no, it would have been written in Hebrew if it's um, the time of Joshua. Hold on, let me find out. Book of Jasher. Can I find it? Original Hebrew into English. What if I want to look at the original Hebrew though? Somebody's going to help me. No, I'm just kidding. I'll find it. Um, Jasher Hebrew.
So, and now I'm gonna distract you.
That's fine. While I
Go
search
into
for
the
this,
search.
that's fine.
Yes. So your education into linguistics.
Yeah, I need to turn you up a little bit. You're here. I can do it on my end. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
That's better.
maybe I could turn mine.
I put you up to 170. We're coming through
All right,
clean now.
cool.
I want the Hebrew,
So you
guys.
were in linguistics.
I took uh 2 years of actually I took hold on sophomore. Yeah, so I took 3 years. Technically, I took 2.5 years of Hebrew and half a year of Aramaic during college, and then I continued very casual. I'm not here to brag whatsoever. I took very I proceeded to have very casual study
Yeah.
over the
So you.
course of from 2007 until now. Um, I would look at
Oh,
Hebrew
so
at least at least monthly since 2007. Um,
okay. So see a penny, pick it.
huh?
See a penny, pick it up.
I don't get the reference.
Well, like that's how you were continuing your study. Penny, you pick it up after after 2007.
Yeah, that's when I graduated college. It was
You know, right? Yeah. So after 2007, it was a casual thing. You see a penny, you pick it up.
gotcha. I'm just not familiar with that reference. Is this is this have Hebrew in it? No, no, it does not. But yeah, why were you were asking about how my language studies and stuff?
Because I can tell that you're into the discovery, the old.
You're
The old
I
ways.
think you're not holding the button down all the way because you're kind of you seem to be cutting out.
A well, you're into the old. Uh, I'm understanding that I caught on that you're a linguistics guy a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm a
That's
big
what you
fan
like.
of etymology especially. I just want the original Hebrew for Jasher. How hard could that be, guys? I'm looking like all over the place for a text of Jasher in Hebrew and I can't find it. It's really annoying. Um, all right, maybe this is it. No, yes, no, nope. That's not helpful. Yeah, I don't know. I want to know what the word is. Why he used moments instead of because there's a word. I know the word in Greek it's aeon. In Hebrew there's a word. Um, so aeon you're familiar with in English. Eon. You like it took an eon. It took a really long time. So that's the word in
Yeah, it's
Greek.
about like 1,000 years.
Well, it's an indefinite amount of time or
Yeah,
undefined.
you're right.
It's
Yeah,
an
it's
undefined
fine.
amount of time. So in Hebrew, the word usually would be olam, but olam usually means a long time. So I don't think that that's the word that he would have used
Now,
if it was
if you
translated
want,
into moments. So I'm just curious what
if
the
if you want my opinion on uh the interpretation of moments, I would take them as one breath. 630 breath.
yeah, but it was well, I see what you're saying, 6 and 30. Um, 6 and 30 moments.
Maybe it's a mathematical equation. Only 18 seconds.
Uh, mm, Usually it'd be 630 is what that, or six of one kind and 30 of another kind of moment. Um, if I had the word
Moments usually
No, well,
correlate with a type of
that.
movement.
Oh, hello.
high reflex.
Oh,
Yes,
reflex.
moments usually describe movement.
Yeah, he has a point, there, which goes back to a breath, moment, breath.
A movement.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want why
What was your name
why is this so hard?
Reflex.
again?
Yeah, I don't know what a moment is, I guess.
I would know better if I could find the original language word. Hold on. Oh gosh. If you go to the
English, do
book,
you speak it?
what's that?
Oh, reflex.
I
English, do
didn't
you
know.
speak it?
I didn't know ions is an indescribable amount of years. I thought maybe it was like maybe 1,000 or something. But I don't know.
Yeah, aeon is indefinite. I'll look it up here.
You don't have to. I'll believe it.
Oh, it's all good. I'm gonna misspell it a couple of times here.
Yeah, I'll
Eon.
probably look it up.
EON.
Yeah, I tried that. I tried that with the A as well. Um, but that's lexiconic. Here we go. Maybe that'll. But I don't need the. Here we go. It's just nope. Let's see.
Yeah, it's like trying to look up the definition for epoch.
Dictionary. There we go. Eon. This word originally meant duration, dispensation in the philosophy of Plato and Aristotle. The word is aeon with the aion, from which the word is transliterated. In the Gnostic philosophy, it has special. See, this is just a dictionary, though. I guess the word doesn't occur in the Bible. Um,
It's just what do they call it? It's flavor.
I'm just gonna say maybe it could be 1,000 years, or maybe it could be indefinitely.
oh, that's Isaiah. I don't want Isaiah. Age. It is in the. It. Let me go to the New Testament because it's in it. I know this word shows up. Let me go here to like a random spot.
Uh,
Here, here we
we
go.
we got gossip. We got gossip. He's he's looking left, right.
Okay,
This is on the
Hamera.
tip of his tongue.
So that's not it. Um, Let me see here. Hebrew, Hebrews, not Hebrew. Um, Age, Kairos. Okay,
Chiron.
okay. So maybe the word aeon is not in the Bible.
One dictionary says a unit of time equal to 1 billion years.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, it's a philosophical term meant for a long time. So any number attributed to it is just going to be um,
Arbitrary.
something to just demonstrate a long time. So whether that's 100, 1,000, or a million or whatever, it's all kind of just speculation anyway. I want the Book of Jasher in Hebrew. Can somebody say for Yashar? Maybe this is it. Is this translated or non-translated? Okay, let me see. Is this gonna, I have to pay for it or what's going on here? Time is ticking by. I did say I was going down some rabbit holes tonight, and that has definitely happened a couple of times. Hi, Jay
Wow.
Paladin. Welcome.
Hey, Paladin.
Just so you know, I am live streaming. I like to let people know just so that they, you know,
Yeah, well, if they don't see the red button,
yeah, well, there's that. But I'm live streaming on YouTube and D Live and stuff too. So, this looks like a dead end. I apparently cannot find a Hebrew text of the Book of Jasher, which is very weird. Um,
well, you will find it. Know this is gonna bug you. Just let it go.
maybe this is it.
Let it go.
Ah, I want to create a free account. Telling me to create a free account. How about no? I hate the ones that like rope you in. They're like, oh, you can, all you gotta do. Like, I don't want to do that. I just give me the PDF. If it's free, it's free. Otherwise, tell me how much it costs. Don't lead me on with some kind of nonsense like this. This says, okay, I'll read online. I don't have to download it. I don't. You're gonna do this? Can I just? I don't want an account. I hate these
No, you
people that.
can't. You can't do this. Let me read you Peter. 1 Peter, who has predestined for this before the foundation of the world was revealed only at the end of the ages. Mm. Will you find the end of your rabbit?
Well, probably not tonight. I'm gonna have here. Maybe this. Probably not though. Probably not tonight. Um, I have. I own this, so no. I want Jasher. Jasher in Hebrew. I'm trying to all these different search terms, um, but it's not working. If I'd have to like
uh,
search for it in Hebrew, that can the way that search engines are built is they if you write in English, it only searches for English websites, and sometimes when you're looking for foreign stuff, you can't you can't find it. It's really
yeah.
it
And
locks you in.
and it's also, that it to do with things in different languages. You think different.
Yeah, I mean it's pronounced completely different. It's not Jasher in Hebrew, it's Yasher, but I'm just okay. Maybe
Yeah, well, the thought is the way you process it.
you're still kind of cutting in and out.
What? In and out.
Yeah, yeah. It's as if you're not holding the button down the whole time that you're speaking, basically.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm on the phone. I don't even have the push to talk, but I have a big beard, and it interferes.
Yeah, I got you. Um, s- yeah, I just found a different translation. but it still used that word moments. So
Yeah.
I will have to dig into that at a different time. Somehow find a
In my belief, a moment is either a breath or a heartbeat.
why. What makes you think breath? Because there's a completely different Hebrew word for that. Um, and if that's what they meant, that's what they would have probably. Hey, fear. You you got any ideas for how I could find the Hebrew um on Jasher? There's two references in the Bible to the book of Jasher. Once in Joshua that I've already talked about, and then again in Second Samuel. Um, that's kind of interesting too, a little bit. But Hebrew interlinear with uh, just Jasher. Maybe I don't know. Nope, nope, nope. I can't hear you, Fear. If you did try to talk, I haven't heard you yet. Okay, maybe this link. Looks like he left. Okay, maybe he'll come back. Old Syriac. Okay, maybe it's on this page. Interlinear Jasher. What?
Uh, I'll
That's weird.
go.
What's that?
It's bedtime. I gotta go. It's bedtime.
Ah, well,
It was nice. It was nice hanging out.
have a good
Do it
sleep.
again.
Yeah, man. Thanks for
I need
hanging
to
out.
figure out how to.
Some things are just hard to find sometimes. But yeah, man, have a good night.
Yeah. Yeah, like your search. Good luck.
Yep, yep. I might give it a couple more minutes. And probably call it quits after that. Bible Concordance, Jasher.
All right.
Hmm. I mean, in the Hebrew, in the book of Joshua, it says Kayom Hamayim. So, I mean, it definitely indicates, the word Yom is day. So, in the book of Joshua, they intended on communicating day. Um, I just wish I could see the Hebrew word in Jasher. Hmm. Nope. Not that either. That's really strange. How is this not even on this silly page? Okay, fine. Um, Uh, oh no, don't tell me it's in Ge'ez. I bet the Book of Jasher isn't in English, or it's not in Hebrew because all we have is the Ge'ez. Oh, that wouldn't help me at all. That would explain the use of the word moment, though. That's the Book of Enoch, but I bet you it's catalog manuscripts. Um, hmm. Hey, Fear. Try and talk again. All right. Source text of Jasher. I have a feeling it's in Ge'ez instead of Hebrew, and we don't have. Hey there, now I hear you.
Awesome, man. Like I was saying before, I haven't been able to find Joshua in Hebrew, but in the book of Enoch, it divides the day into parts. So if parts and moments are the same thing, if you do the math on it, it works out to about 48 hours by the law of the sun. Now the moon travels slower, so it's probably if it is half, then that is a day. So I mean, a moment could be the same as parts in Enoch, and that's about 80 minutes.
So we don't have in any original text of Enoch in Hebrew. We only have it in the ancient Ethiopian language Ge'ez, um, and then translations from that. And I'm wondering if the same might be true about Jasher, um, not having the Hebrew and only having the Ge'ez, but I can't
The,
seem to find anything.
but yeah, if moments are the same thing as parts, as in the book of Enoch, then each part is 80 minutes,
The
and
authentic.
36 parts would be 48 hours on the nose.
Well, it says 6 and 30, which,
Yeah, so 36 times 80 divided by 60, and that'll give you 48.
why are you, oh, so you're thinking 6 as in a single digit, not a bigger number than 30.
No, I'm thinking the 6 plus the 30
Okay,
moments.
gotcha.
So that 36 moments.
Okay,
And, and if each moment is a part, which is 80 minutes, 36 times 80 divided by 60 will give you 48 hours. And that's by the law of the sun. But it says the moon stood still for the moon had stayed in its place for a full day.
the moon and the
And
sun, they were collective.
they travel they go at different speeds.
Yeah, but they both stood still.
Absolutely. But the moon, it goes slower than the sun.
Oh, so you're just talking about in regards to measuring time. It's a
As
different yardstick.
Yes.
Yeah, gotcha.
The so if since the moon moves slower than the sun, it'd be less than the 48 hours, which would put it, between a day and somewhere there.
Mm-hmm.
Because the moon it loses its time with the sun. I mean, you're behind 50 days every 5 years by the moon count.
Gotcha. I don't understand why there's no manuscript. Maybe I need to. I'm looking for the wrong words. Manuscript, Jasher manuscript. Let me look at that. I mean, Jasher, pseudo Jasher. Um, I just don't understand why there's not.
The person to ask on that, and I don't particularly agree with all of his, all of his thoughts and everything, would be Dr. Pigeon. I'm sure he's probably got the original, or not the original, but I mean a copy of the original text untranslated, because he's the one that ended up doing the Cephers on them, I think.
Oh, is that the guy that's behind that book, the Sefer translation?
Yeah, he's behind some of them.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Um,
But like I said, I don't ascribe to all of his stuff.
yeah, I understand. Old Syriac. I'm just, I just don't. There's no. Why would there not be any images or anything? Uh, there has to be something somewhere that, like Latin, or there has to be something that's not English for the Book of Jasher. I mean,
I don't know, maybe Dead Sea Scrolls.
I just typed in Jasher manuscript, and like you would think. Let me look at this Wikipedia article here. The Latin translation, English, English, English. So there's a hold on, history. Earliest extant version of this Hebrew midrash. Um, um, blah blah blah. It mentions Kabbalah and Zohar in this article here. So I'm like, oh, yeehaw. Um, yeah, it seems way new, awkwardly new, like 900. That's obviously that's not possible.
Yeah, because they say the same thing about the Book of Enoch as well, and there are copies of it in the Dead Sea that were discovered in the Qumran caves.
Exactly. Well, furthermore, it's quoted by in the book of Joshua, so it's got to be older than that. Um, and Second Samuel, so it's older than those books. But we don't have any. It's fine that we don't have. I mean, you don't have to have the original. It's just, um, why wouldn't that be more clearly? Um, the book covers biblical history. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I just want. All I want to know is what manuscripts we actually have, and it appears that there's only the Latin. and maybe that's the only one we have in totality, which is only 400 years old. Um, maybe that's all we have. I don't know, but yeah, this is interesting. This calls it a literary forgery, which is quite an accusation that doesn't make any sense at all. Book of Jasher, that's a translation. Blah blah blah. Whole book of Jasher. Wow, this is taking an extremely. It's only 20 megabytes, and it's taking a really awkward amount of time to open that up. Oh well. Well, it was an interesting rabbit trail, though. Um, I just, I really wish I had a source word that I could look at. I don't know, even if it was Latin. But you said that the word moments also shows up in Enoch, and it's further defined.
No, not moments.
Oh, okay. Parts.
Parts.
Gotcha. Um,
In Enoch, the day is divided into parts, and each part represents 80 minutes.
63. Let's see if this thing pulled up. Where'd it go? Here? Okay, here we go. So this is just another English thing from a long time ago. This is 18th century, it looks like. Um, yeah, this is just an original English translation, but chapter 35. Maybe they broke the numbers up differently here. Notes. Chapter 37. Yeah, this must have been broken up different. They had a different numbering for this. And also, I don't think this is 18th century based on the font alone. A republication maybe. I don't know. This is going to give me the exact same word though, if I find it in there. Interesting. Yeehaw to rabbit trails. It all started because I was looking up times the word moon shows up. But I mean, the Joshua moon staying still is a fascinating story, and 10 miles apart was an interesting fact to learn um, from Ayalon and Gibeon being 10 miles apart. So that was fun. I don't know what that would look like. But it's not even, it also seems to indicate that the sun was not like high noon, that it was actually sunset, and that it held sunset, is what it appeared. What, okay, so you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me too.
So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven and hasted not to go down about a whole day. Um,
Because usually if I'm sure it'll tell the time. I mean, it would show what time of the year it was as well, because usually when the moon is in the sky and it's visible, it's ahead of the sun, isn't it?
oh, you're talking about maybe you could recreate and know even what time of the year it was just by knowing that the
The
moon would,
position, the
yeah,
position of the sun and the moon,
when is
because
the moon
the moon would have been on
west?
the west, and the sun would have been to the east.
Well, if you were standing in between them, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. It's fascinating. I bet you could um it,
because because there's only certain times of the year that you can actually see the full moon during the day. It isn't at every full moon you see the full moon in the sky while the sun's still in the sky, but it does occur.
yeah, I
Which, as any globe earther will tell you, it's completely impossible.
to see
But
the, yeah, I know.
there it is.
It does, yeah, it does happen. So I've been recently seeing the moon and the sun during the daytime. Um that's definitely been happening more frequently recently. In the morning and in the afternoon. So,
Well, that'd give a lot of hints to the days being shorter, because it'd be tracking a lot faster.
mhm. Yep, yep, yep. Well, I'm actually a little bit tired. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Um, I'm hoping to continue to urge people to participate in Operation Baby Landlord, and
I
sort of.
would love to participate, but usually that's the night that my family goes out. We have a family date night usually.
How's that going recently?
Oh man, it's going great. It
Okay,
is. It's going
so
fine.
y'all are
Yeah.
still, y'all are nothing stopping you or anything.
No, restaurants are closed, but you can still go out and do pretty much anything you want. I haven't. Our work is still going full blast, except my wife. She works in the medical field, and hers has slowed down. She's uh, furloughed at least a couple days a week. So
Hmm.
hospitals aren't as busy as what they say.
Yeah. What region of the country are you in?
Well, we're in Arkansas.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Interesting. There's another dude, Helio, actually.
Yeah,
It,
yeah. He lives down in Fayetteville.
okay, yeah. So, oh, you've talked to him a couple times?
No, I sure haven't, but I'd heard him talking about it, and
Gotcha, gotcha.
yeah, I'm just north of him. I'm in the home of Walmart.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Cool.
But no, work has not stopped one bit. It hadn't slowed down a lick. And then tomorrow night we're getting ready for Passover. Pesach is coming up,
Yeah,
or Pesach.
yeah, gotta
Yep.
do the
I think we're doing it on Wednesday night though. I don't. Some people are doing it tomorrow night, and then others are doing it on Wednesday night.
Gotcha. What makes the difference?
I think the calendar that they use.
Gotcha.
I try to follow more of the Enochian one. In 14 days, is when you sacrifice the lamb. After you bring it in on the 10th day, and then you sacrifice it on the 14th. And 14 days after the Jewish New Year is the 8th. But I think the full moon is either tomorrow night or the next night. It always falls on like a full moon.
Gotcha. So I just found this random Wikipedia article, and it says that the movement of a shadow on a sundial covered 40 moments in a solar hour, which um,
I'd seen that too, but that would make it only about what 36 minutes. 'Cause
32,000 let's say hypothetically it's 360 and not six and not hold on, not 360. What did I mean to do? 630? 6 and 30. Let's say it's 630 times 90 divided by 60. 945 minutes divided by 60. So it could be 15 and 3/4 hours by one way of looking at it. Um,
but then it's still short of the 24 that the word says.
24. You mean about a day?
Yeah.
Well, 16 hours is an entire
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. While sun, according to sunlight up.
wait, say what? Oh yeah, according to how much sunlight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, divided by 60 minutes. Well, 60 seconds. Yeah, so otherwise 36 times 90 is only going to be like an hour. I just when I say 3, I mean or 6 and 30, I think of those as 6 being the bigger unit comes first in Hebrew. Probably not just Hebrew, but
I don't know.
6 and 30 minutes. Okay. So this is another interpretation somebody was given here. This is, hold on, 6. All right. So it says the book of Jasher says 6 and 30 moments. Moments does not mean degrees on a sundial. Moments or momentum was according to a medieval unit of time, blah, blah, blah. An hour is divided into 40 momentums called moments. So in modern time measurements, a moment is 1.5 minutes. 6 and 30 moments could refer to 6 hours and 30 moments, or 6 hours and 45 minutes that the sun stood still. This number, however, conflicts with another source which says that the earth stood still for 23 hours and 40 minutes. What source is that? Why don't you cite your sources? I hate it when people don't cite their sources. So whether it was nearly 7 hours longer or almost an entire day of light, you're still talking about a miracle. Yeah, either way, we get that. So, but what's their source where they're getting 23 and 40 minutes?
I don't know. I'll reread Joshua and see if there's any festivals that are going on, but right before or right after that battle, because that'll give you the time of year. And then once you have that, you can figure out how long the day was during that time of year.
Hmm.
And then you could figure out how long a moment was. Because it's precise on how long the sun is up and how long it's down.
Which thing is precise about it?
The way everything is.
You're
Not
talking
only
Joshua?
not only well no, the Book of Enoch, a regular science. I mean, if you look at even at your Weather Channel app, it'll tell you when sun up and sun down is.
Oh yeah, I got you.
But I've got, calculations on, how long it's up and how long it's down for each month of the year. And if we can figure out like exactly when, or when not exactly, but around what time it happened, you can tell how long the day was, and then you can start making calculations on moments. Now that's a rabbit hole.
Yep. Good mind exercise at the very least.
At the least. Well, listen, man, I know y'all are tired, and I'm gonna hop in. I've got to take care of my other ones. So y'all have a great, blessed evening, and I'll see you soon.
You too, man. Bye for now.
Hey, appreciate it.
Just checking one last link here, guys, and then I'm going to wrap it up for the evening. Thanks for hanging out and having a good old time. If anybody finds an original document, not original, just any other language um, besides English for Jasher, please share. I bet this is the same thing over and over again. I don't get it, guys. How can it be faithfully translated if you can't find the original Hebrew? If this, I mean, the claim is that they translated it from original Hebrew, and then and it's out of Salt Lake City, so that already calls a lot into question here. So I'm gonna have to say that they're full of it, completely full of it. Oh boy. Okay, I'm done. Done. Thanks for hanging out. Supposedly there's 4 of you here watching the stream still. Um, good times. The moment thing is a weird little component. 16 hours could be the thing. 6 and 30. You know, moment. Oh, look at that. Units of time, shake, jiffy, second, minute, moment, hour, day. How about that? 4 years. Lustrum, decade, century. Seculum. Interesting. Alrighty. Well, here's my advice, as always. Follow Yahweh, not your way. Don't forget it.